There's a reason why OG Wailing Woods is remembered as one of the strangest and creepiest locations Fortnite has ever had. There's a reason why it's constantly brought up in nostalgia conversations, why people make theories and analog horror edits about it even today, and why it felt so uniquely different from the rest of Chapter 1's POIs. It all comes down to the atmosphere, the unsettling vibe it gave off without ever really trying to. The same kind of eerie energy that old games like Minecraft Alpha or GTA San Andreas Back Beyond gave to players. And when you really think about it, it's not obvious why Wailing Woods felt so creepy. But I think after looking back on it, comparing it to other games, and thinking about the psychology of spaces like this, there are some clear reasons. First of all, Wailing Woods was isolated. Unlike Tilted Towers, Retail Row, or Pleasant Park, which were loud and full of chaos, Wailing Woods sat tucked away in the corner of the map, surrounded by nothing but trees. If you landed there, half the time you felt like you were completely alone, and when another player did show up, it was almost worse, because you had no visibility in that dense forest and no way of knowing where they are. The entire area was basically one giant maze of trees, green repeating textures everywhere, stretching so far you could lose your sense of direction. That kind of environment taps into something deeply psychological. It's a liminal space, a place that feels transitional and unnatural, like an endless hallway or an empty parking lot at night. You're there, but it feels like you're not supposed to be there, and that creates unease. And then, of course, there was the bunker, the infamous locked hatch in the middle of Wailing Woods, sitting there with no explanation, no use, and no way to open it. Epic never commented on it for the longest time, which left players' imaginations do all the work. Was it a secret lab, a future event, an underground city, a boss fight? Nobody knew. And that silence made it even creepier. Some players swore they heard noises when standing near it, others glitched cameras inside and claimed to see shadows or strange textures. Just like Herobrine in Minecraft. It was the mystery itself that made it scary. People started to believe things that weren't really there, filling in the blanks with their own imagination because of how little was actually explained. Even the atmosphere of Wailing Woods itself felt off. In OG Fortnite, the lighting and graphics were way simpler than they are now. Smooth lighting wasn't as advanced, shadows weren't as natural, and the fog in the distance gave the forest a strange, hazy vibe. When you ran through Wailing Woods, you often couldn't see too far ahead, and at night, the trees blocked out the moonlight almost completely. That constant low visibility made everything feel tenser, because even the smallest sound, a chest opening, footsteps in the distance, or a shotgun cooking, would make you panic. You never knew if someone was lurking right behind a tree, and the quietness of the area made every noise stand out. Fortnite back then wasn't as documented as it is today. There weren't endless leaks, data mines, and YouTube breakdowns giving you answers for every single detail. If you were playing in Season 3 or 4 and you saw that bunker, you had no idea if it would even be relevant. That fear of the unknown is one of the biggest reasons why Wailing Woods felt so unsettling. It always seemed like it was hiding something important, but no one could say for sure what. It was the same recipe that made early creepypastas like Herobrine or Lavender Town so believable. A lack of information, a weird environment, and a player base filling in the gaps with scary theories. If you compare Wailing Woods to other Fortnite POIs, it only stands out more. Haunted Hills was spooky by design, sure, but it was also openly themed. A graveyard with a castle meant to be creepy. Wailing Woods wasn't trying to be scary, and that's why it worked so well. Lonely Lodge had similar forest vibes, but the bigger tower made it feel more like a cozy campsite than anything else. Shifty Shafts had underground mines, but they were cramped and chaotic, not eerie. Wailing Woods was the one and only that felt empty, endless, and unsettling. Almost like Fortnite's version of the backrooms. You could drop in, survive for 10 minutes, and never see another soul. Wandering through trees that all looked the same, hearing nothing but the wind and your own footsteps. And this feeling wasn't unique to Fortnite either. Other old games had areas just like this. In GTA San Andreas, there's the Beko Beyond, a forested area filled with fog and nothing else, famous for spawning the Bigfoot urban legend. In Silent Hill, the heavy fog and lack of visibility made everything scarier because your brain filled it with what you couldn't see. Even early Resident Evil games used emptiness and strange lightning to add to the horror. And all of this ties into one thing: hardware limitations. Fortnite in 2017 wasn't as polished as it is now, just like those old PS2 and PC games weren't. The lighting was harsher, the colors were brighter, the draw distance wasn't as good. Those technical limitations accidentally created unsettling atmospheres, ones that modern games with higher detail don't replicate as well. And maybe the biggest factor of all, the loneliness. Fortnite today is full of NPCs, wildlife, cars, and random things to fill up the world, but back then, it was just players. If no one landed with you at Wailing Woods, you were completely alone, surrounded by trees, silence, and that one mysterious bunker. You couldn't help but feel like the map itself was keeping secrets from you. It's the same phenomenon as old Minecraft worlds with no villages or structures. Just you, nature, and your imagination trying to explain away the emptiness. That's why OG Wailing Woods sticks out so much. It wasn't designed to be Fortnite's horror POI, but it ended up being one anyway, thanks to its isolation, its repetitive and liminal design, its mysterious bunker, and the lack of answers from Epic. And looking back, it makes sense why people still talk about it, why edits and theories about it still get posted years later. Wailing Woods wasn't just a forest, it was a liminal zone, a place that felt like it was hiding something from you, a space that gave you the same uneasy feeling as stepping into an abandoned mall or walking down an empty hallway at night. It's proof that sometimes the scariest places in games aren't the ones meant to scare you, they're the ones that leave you with unanswered questions and too much silence. That's why OG Wailing Woods will always be remembered as one of the most unsettling places in Fortnite history.